Yo, what's up, guys? It's the
It's the Fidelo podcast.
Hey gang. All right,
Yo, it's Anthony Lopez tuning in.
and then this is Cesar Alonso. So today we're gonna be speaking about uh, like the sexist views in Hispanic Latino households.
And what gender role is expected of you as a female and man.
Yeah, okay. So this is a really good topic, and so I was really like digging into it, and I found this really good article by the Michigan Daily. So basically, define it. So there's actually a word for this. It's called machismo. And so it's basically a strong and exaggerated sense of manliness. So basically, what it is, it's so men in these households, they tend to be like the head of the family. They're expected to be the head of the family, basically. So their job is to like to protect the women, and to overall like demonstrate their dominance towards these women.
So real quick, now I have a question for both of us. It's gonna go for both of us. So now, as we're working and everything, do you believe that, like when you're older, do you believe in these roles? Like, do you have to take charge of the household because that's how you're raised, and it's kind of hard to leave from it because.
Well, yeah, like, so that's actually a good question. So I was raised in this sort of scenario, and I'm not gonna be as like, how can I put it, like as to the point with it, because I don't feel it's right. But in a way, I'm still gonna have those views, because it was the way I was brought up. I was raised that, oh, a man has to like fend for himself. He has to be dominant. Can't really talk about your problems that much. You know.
It leads to a mental health thing too, because
Right.
it's like this manly view that, you know, we have to be strong.
You have to be.
And
Look,
we
you have to be a
we
macho.
basically have no feeling.
Facts,
you know?
facts.
We can't
You
show
can't
feeling.
open up.
If you show feeling, you're viewed as weak and
That,
stuff like that.
I was reading something on that. So there's this guy. His name's Hugo Quintana. So and he goes on to say like, he would often get like shamed by his family members and shit, family members and stuff, for like not wanting to play soccer, not wanting to learn about cars, because he was more interested in like reading books, buildings, staying inside, and usually in like Hispanic households, that's not really like a man's like the way they build a man
That's
to
not
be.
a man's gender role.
Facts.
That's typically a female gender role,
Yeah.
viewed in a Hispanic household.
Exactly, and then so he would go on to say like his cousins, they wouldn't want to like talk to him because they thought it was weird, or they thought it was like gay. That's how they see it sometimes in Hispanic households, especially the younger people. That's how they view it because that's how they were raised up. But yeah, he would get shamed, and so this all plays like a role on your like mental health. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like, for me in my life, I have a bunch of theos in construction who know all of this stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm not as educated in that area as they did, but when I got around this age, I work with them because my dad wanted me to know all this stuff. So
Yeah.
I have to depend on a man, another man, to do this stuff for me.
Yeah.
So like when I'm older, I mean, this is just how I was raised, and it's hard to get away from. I'm probably going to be the man of the household.
When you're older and stuff.
Yeah, because like I said before, it's really hard to get away from it.
Yeah.
And that's just how I was raised and how I viewed it my whole life growing up. And that's typically I lived around a large amount of Hispanics,
Yeah.
and nothing in this household is, especially the older generation, is it's all about being a man.
Yeah.
It's everywhere, even in non-dominant, even in non-Hispanic households.
Yeah. Those are the roles for men and stuff.
Mhm.
So where do you think like the root of the problem occurs? So like, who implements these views on the kids? Where do you think it all starts?
Well, it all starts with your parents, how you're being
Mhm.
raised.
Facts.
So like, I mean, we know this because we see it firsthand and we
Yeah.
experienced it.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of like, I would be confident to say like, a majority of Hispanic houses are built around this type of mindset, basically.
Yeah, because even in schools, like, all these kids work with their dads and
Mhm.
work in construction because either one, they're helping out their family, or two, they just need to know this stuff,
Yeah.
and their parents make them.
Facts. So so like you were saying, boys are usually taught up to be, they have to be tough, they have to be hardworking. You know, they can never ask for help. And you know, it causes insecurity, and that's one of the problems. Now that's just with the man's side. We haven't even gotten to the women's side yet. So the women are taught, that they have to be, that they're basically kind of taught like a mindset that the only sort of use that they have is to be a wife. You know, like they must clean, they must cook, and they have to like take care of children. Basically, those are the roles of.
They view it as, women are more nurturing.
Yeah.
And you'll hear this later on in the podcast. We have a guest speaker.
Yeah. So and I was looking into it. There are reports that 10 to 50% of women living in Latin American countries, they're being physically assaulted by their partners. And a big deal of this is like, it's more of like a dominance thing. And because those women feel like, oh, I have to stick to my roles, I have to be a wife, I can't really branch out. And a lot of it leads into domestic violence, which is why machismo culture is like, it's really toxic. It's like really, really toxic.
Yeah, and especially if you're Hispanic and, getting into your dating life.
Yeah.
If some men sense like independency from a woman, it kind of hurts their dominance.
Yeah.
Because, they don't want a woman to be taller or make more money than them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a insecurity.
Yeah, it's like, it's towards your pride, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And these men feel like attacked, but it's like the way they were raised, and it doesn't help when like a majority of Latin countries, they have like the highest rates of inequality.
Yeah.
It's really messed up. And like you were saying with the Hispanics moms being less educated.
A study found in 2014 that 38% of Hispanic moms are not educated or just stay at home.
Yeah.
And take care of the kids.
Right. So I think now we can talk to our guest speaker.
Yo, what's up, guys? We have a guest speaker here, and today we're going to talk about gender roles in Hispanic household and the sexist views.
So introduce yourself.
I'm Diana, and I'm a girl.
So you're Latina, right?
Yeah.
All right. How many siblings do you have?
3.
3. And how
One's a
old are they?
boy, 2 are girls. One of them, the girl is 14, the boy is 11, and the youngest is 6.
6.
All right. So now to the first question. So what role is expected for you to play in your family? Like, what gender role? Since you're female, what is expected of you?
Well, I have to do all the housework and then take care of my siblings, which means like driving them to school, keeping the house clean, and then make sure they're fed and don't fight. Yeah. My brother, he doesn't really do much compared to me. He just takes out the trash and picks up his stuff, but that's it.
Yeah, I can kind of relate to that too. Like, I have sisters, and that's my role. They have to clean the house, and I'm more like outside, throwing out the trash, changing the oil, and then they're more inside cleaning the house. So yeah, I can kind of relate to that. What about you?
So, I mean, I can relate a little bit. In my household, I have one older sister and one younger. Typically, we share all the chores. So, usually I'm outside and inside, so I both clean out and in. And then anytime a car needs maintenance, I'm usually the one who typically does it. Yeah.
Do you think it's like because like your dad was like, oh, you have to like know how to do this?
Yeah, so my dad always told me when I was younger and now that you got to know how to do maintenance around the house because you don't want to depend on another person to do it for your family.
Or like depend on another man to do it when you can do it.
Mm-hmm. So that's how I was brought up and raised. Like, so my sisters never do anything for them. Anytime they get a flat tire or have something like that, I'm always the one who does it for them or my dad.
Yeah. And you think it's like the other way around too? Like say if there's like a baby coming in your house, would you be watching it, or would like your mom make your sisters do it? You understand what I'm saying?
So typically when it comes to that, they'll make my sisters do it.
Yeah.
Because in a way, they view it as women tend to be more nurturing than men.
Yeah. That's another
Yeah,
like view.
Yeah.
Like how you were saying, you have to
Mhm.
like take care of your sisters and brothers.
Yeah, all of them. Even though my sister's old enough to take care of herself, I'm still expected to like make sure she eats, and like make sure everyone eats and keep the house clean. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm the one to get in trouble. Even though my siblings are old enough to pick up after themselves.
So, do you think any of this changes as you grow older, or no?
No, I think it only changes once I start like my own life and my own family.
Mm.
But other than that, I think the rules stay the same until you leave the house or something.
Facts. So like, say when you do move out, are you gonna like continue this cycle? Are you
Like
gonna
what
try
you're
to
doing?
like steer away from it?
Like,
No, I'm gonna try to not be like that because I don't think that's
It's like
right. Yeah. And then, yeah, I think it's cool how you're inside and outside. Because then my brother, he's just like all outside, like taking out the bottles, just throwing away the trash, and then taking the trash bins like outside to the front whenever it's trash day. But like me and my sisters don't even do that.
Yeah.
We just all inside. Like have to clean the restroom, and he just has to like throw away the trash, and that's it.
Yeah.
see, like when my dad leaves the house, I'm expected to take the role of being the man of the house.
Yeah.
So if anything goes wrong, I have to take care of it.
That's
Well, I'm in a similar like scenario like that, cause my dad he does he travels for work and stuff, so like basically what you're saying, you have to be the man of the house. That's basically what I'm doing, cause I'm the oldest boy. So basically my mom's like, oh, you're the oldest man, you have to deal with all this type of stuff, and yeah, it's pretty much how it is.
Like even in just non-Hispanic households, like it's usually just a man mentality of
Yeah.
that. Like
you have
it's
to take
expected
over,
of
yeah.
you.
Thinking like,
it's a society gender role, not
Yeah.
even
Mhm.
Hispanic household gender role.
all right, so what are some solutions that we can take to try to like stop this?
I think just raising your kids and like the next generation differently, like not make them do certain chores or certain roles that's related to their gender, like just
So
everyone.
like treat everybody equally.
Yeah,
Do you think this is going to be difficult because this is how you're raised and it's harder for people to change?
well, I think first generation, like the oldest kids, may have it a little harder to change, but I think you can still do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, going back to your gender roles, like as you're older and you're continuing on your career, I mean, how do I put this? The role out there is if you have a kid, that usually the mom has to be a stay-at-home mother.
Yeah.
And I was looking at statistics as of 2014, 38% of Hispanic households, the mom was a stay-at-home mom. I mean, I know
Well,
that.
I think that goes back to like the guy being like the man of the house and like the head of the household.
Mhm.
That's why when I feel like for Hispanics, they paint that picture of when you have a kid, the mom stays home and then the guy goes and gets the money for the
Yeah, provide for
household.
the household.
Mhm.
I think it just goes back to what you were saying earlier.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your time,
Thank you for your
Diana.
time, man.
You're welcome.
Any last words?
Nope.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, guys. So this is our podcast. Again, this is our podcast. So I'm Cesar Alonso.
I'm Anthony Lopez.
And
This
this
is
is
the Fidelos
Fidelos
podcast.
Hey.
And we out.
All right, peace out, dogs.